Guess who? Oh, there's Landon's truck.
392.
Oh no, it's not Landon's truck. It just kind of looks the same color. You engine swapping it?
Why would anybody spend the money on a 392 to pull out and put a different one?
What are we doing today, Ginger?
So today we're gonna get the transfer case in, disassemble it so that we can get this piece off of the motor assembly and installed onto that transfer case so that the transfer case can then connect, and then we make this a four-wheel drive system. We're then gonna pick the engine up and gently Velcro it into the vehicle.
Velcro?
There's some heavy-duty outdoor Velcro. Works really well.
All right, guys, welcome back to the channel. My name's Casey, and we are back here at Epic once again, continuing the Demonator build. Let me catch you guys up with where we're at so far, and then we're gonna dive right into making some progress on getting the 840 horsepower supercharged V8 Dodge Demon engine into our slightly two-piece separated Gladiator.
What'd you call the engine?
840 horsepower supercharged V8 out of a Dodge Demon. As if you have not been following the build series up to this point, here is our new motor or engine, depending on what you guys prefer to call it. You can call it whatever you want.
It's environmentally friendly.
It's not an electric motor.
This green belt says so.
So we got the green belt. But we've also got our 2022 Jeep Gladiator Mojave that is well, it looks a little funny at the moment because we have the cab of it separated so that we can work on the engine swap. You can't put the engine in with that still attached. Go check out the last few videos of us removing the body from the frame and pulling out the anemic 3.6 liter V6 that came with this, because we want to put 840 horsepower in it, because that makes a whole lot of sense. Look at this, and check this out. There's even a little demon embossed on the top of the supercharger.
No touching.
All right, quick pause from the video. I want to talk to you about something really important. I'm able to create amazing videos every week for you guys that I know you enjoy through the support of awesome companies such as Epic Adventure Outfitters and White Rock Dodge. If you want to help support me and the channel, I highly encourage you to check out the businesses that help support making these kinds of videos. Epic Adventure Outfitters has an online store that you can check out that ships many different products to both Canada and the United States, including the Kraken tire inflation system. And they're always happy to answer questions about building your new Jeep if you want to give them a call at their shop. And if you're looking to get a newer used, a Jeep, not a Jeep, modified, or maybe do a full-on engine swap, give Rich Hamlin, the general manager of White Rock Dodge, a text or a call. He is providing his direct phone number so that you guys can call or text him and his awesome team over at White Rock Dodge. Check out the description below for links and phone numbers to get you what you need, and let's get back to the vlog. So here it is. This is gonna, well, we gotta turn it around, right? This is backwards. Is this backwards, or do we put it in this way?
No, it just gives us more power in reverse.
In reverse. So here's the engine that we are going to be putting in here, and this is a huge project. Over 80 hours of work are going to be going into this, and then once the motor's in, we're going to have to deal with putting the body back on, putting a suspension on, some new axles, because we're going to want to run bigger tires and not immediately destroy the drivetrain on this. But yeah, that's what we're doing today, so let's get started. Do we need two fuel pumps, or did they get a better, bigger, faster, more powerful one now?
I think it's the Mopar dual pump.
Dual pump, single pump?
That's what Jared's telling me.
Yeah, that's a dual pump.
Yeah, so it comes in the Challenger.
Cool. You know, they have the exact red Demonator on their site for sale for $199 US.
Why did you just order it?
I don't think we could get it into Canada very easily. I was filling up this morning. 91 octane is like 20 cents less per liter than diesel right now.
What?
Yeah.
You're kidding.
No. So premium is cheaper than diesel by 10%. So we made the right decision. I mean, we're all worried about fuel economy and, you know, maximizing that by definitely putting...
You did this because of gas prices.
Exactly. Now diesel is more expensive than 91 octane premium fuel. We're actually going to save money by having an 840 horsepower supercharged V8 in our Gladiator. Maybe. Maybe. This is supposed to have two pumps in it.
Yes.
Double pumper.
Yep. which usually, I think it's gonna be the one that comes in either the Demon or the Red Eye. So
this completely will replace our factory fuel tank, or fuel pump.
yes, it will no longer be present.
Sure is a work of art.
It is a beautiful engine.
I feel like I should use that stand for something once we're done. Disconnect from its frame. So you gotta pull this adapter off, or are you just gonna leave that on there?
I gotta take it off.
You gotta take it right off.
Because we gotta deal with something internally while we're doing the transfer case swap.
This is, if you guys aren't familiar, AMW's custom. Is this billet? This looks like billet, right?
Oh yeah.
AMW's custom
Anodized.
billet anodized adapter plate. So this is going to allow us to make our 8-speed transmit. Is this out of a Trackhawk?
This is out of a Trackhawk.
I think so, yeah.
This is a 95.
Okay. So we've got the Trackhawk 8-speed transmission, good for all 840 horsepower. And the billet adapter is going to allow us to mate up to a Rubicon transfer case, which Christian is about to disassemble the Rubicon transfer case that we got sent over with this engine and transmission, because we do not have a Rubicon transfer case in the Mojave. And if you're wondering why we need to use a Rubicon transfer case, it isn't just because of the gear reduction. It's actually that the Rubicon transfer case has a removable nose cone, which is going to be necessary to mate this up to that adapter plate. At least it's not raining this week. It's just freezing cold.
Just frigid.
It'd be really hard to do this without a Toyota, hey?
The Toyota is really one of the main ways to add power to a Jeep.
Another day at the shop. Ooh, fancy.
You want the whole box or just the one end?
I don't know yet.
Take the one end, stain it, throw it on the wall in the garage.
I mean, it would look really good on the wall. Maybe we should give it away. We'll give it away to someone on Patreon. Yeah, if you want part of the box, I'll give it away to someone. Give part of it away to someone on Patreon. And if you're not on the Patreon page already, go check it out. Link in the description. I usually post clips and short videos a couple weeks in advance of the main videos going live because, well, it usually takes me a couple weeks to get things edited, and it's nice to share with you guys in real time. So Patreon has been following this build already for the last few weeks.
If you check out my Patreon, I'll be giving away Casey.
You can't do that.
Says who?
So here's our Rubicon transfer case that will be going in. So this top part's the piece you got to remove, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So this piece here,
The nose.
the nose, is what has to be removed to put some stuff in there. What do we got to put?
Adding this.
What are we adding? Oh, a new output shaft. Okay. So this piece here and that piece there need to be swapped so that this will fit onto our transmission output shaft. Get the right bits?
Well, we got more
Maybe.
bits.
More bits. It's a lot of bags.
It was all in the filter.
Ooh, what's that?
Air filter.
Ooh, oh, felt that bit. So we need a dust
Even got a comb there.
dust filter for that,
Oh,
right?
definitely. A dust pre-filter.
Never goes back in like it came out.
All new O2 sensors.
Ah.
And second mass airflow sensor. Gotta be careful with that one. That explains why it was in with that. Bunch of clamps for rad hoses. Oh, there we go. Found it.
Are those AMW or Mopar logos on there?
Mopar. Well, some are
Yeah.
AMW. This says steering column correction bracket, which is what this trim plate's for.
Stay tuned for steering column corrections later in the video.
Yes, lots of corrections.
Aha!
That thingamabobber is going to go into this thingamabobber.
Like that.
The downside is I can't just put this in here because it has to go into the other piece first, then the snap ring and the seal, and then you get to fight with all of these gears all at the same time.
Oh, so this will go on the front of the...
So you're going to fight with all of these and all of these with all of those.
It's not a fun day without a good fight.
If it was easy, everyone would be doing it.
Yeah, I'd be doing it in my garage.
It's not that size. Clearly, we're not going to put that back on. I was just protecting this. Gotta always have protection.
Always have protection. Safety second.
The more horses, the more protection.
You got it, Mike? Spin it till it drops in. Putting the new billet nose cap on. Input housing is gone
Yes, it's fine.
with this new billet
the
one.
new input housing, so that it'll meet up to the transfer case and they can have a nice, long, happy union.
Happy life together.
Yes.
Hopefully.
We do not want these to divorce.
Half of them in. I needed to hold both sides to spin the.
You need to get it a little lower.
Yeah, I had to get a little lower so I can hold it up, so I
Right.
can spin it. And once you do that, then all
Just
the planetary is
the way
going
it
into
goes,
place. Just tightening up the.
All right, so now we've got the adapter on the transfer case. Very challenging. There, you got her? Got her, guys?
You betcha.
Nice. Look at that. Whoa, that's a nice piece of hardware. It's freezing out here, guys, just so you know. It's super cold. But we're gonna put the motor onto the frame now and get that bolted down, and it's the first step towards buttoning up this whole crazy project.
Yeah. I'll catch it.
You could just grab it if anything
I don't know
happens.
why I didn't just lift it.
Good old Toyota. What would we do without it?
There.
That's good.
Oh, forget the e-brake! the 4x4 and a necessary piece of metal. Crazy how easy that rolls with nothing in it.
Up right.
For a moment straight. We're gonna go straight for a moment. Okay.
Alright, it's up on this side.
They go in.
Try it in a second. Yeah, we're done.
Okay, so lower down.
Hey, we're good, eh?
Oh no.
Look at that!
Engine's in the truck.
Woo! Alright, there we go, guys. The next big milestone with the install. The engine is in the truck. Now we just throw the cab on and it starts right up, right?
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Back in the shop. I need more horsepower. Let's go, it weighs more now. Steer, 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 steer. Drop it in, drop in fuel pump.
Like just drop it?
Just drop. If you get it right, it'll go right in.
Yeah, it's not really how this works.
Oh, that's why you're the mechanic and I'm the YouTuber. A lot easier with the cab off.
You know, I was thinking the same thing. Stuff here.
Just connect there, all the connectors.
I'm just connecting some connectors.
Connect that connector to
Connect
the other
this.
connector over there. Do some connecting on the connecting side.
You know, you get it. You truly get it.
I read the manual. It said connect all the connectors.
I read the sticker.
Why would you share the manual with me then?
Look at this, guys. Look how awesome is this. This is absolutely crazy. Crazy. I cannot wait until the first start. And don't miss the first start video. You're going to want to see this whole series and first start, first drive, and everything to come, which, what else is on the plan besides putting the body back on? we gotta put the body back on, right? But we got a lot of things to do here.
We've got a lot of little things to do. So we got to
Yeah.
do some modifications to the gas tank. We've got to install and wrap the exhaust system. We've got to assemble the rad stack with all the new coolers and the intercooler and all that stuff. We have to also set up all the lines for the power steering that we now have that's on the motor. So
Oh, yes.
here's the power steering pump.
No more whiny
Here's-
electric
sorry.
pump.
Here's the power steering pump. Here's the gearbox. And there's going to be a cooler in the mix, and they all have to talk to each other
Look at-
with hoses.
Look at how close the fit is on this. Like,
But not close enough to be an issue.
yeah, it's
Like, look at it.
crazy. It's crazy how it just barely fits.
Look at the size of this motor. And
we have
it's
to-
in there?
I mean, but with the new motor mounts, right? Fits right up. Perfect. Do we have to modify anything else, like the body, or make room?
We have to massage a part of the body a little bit, but it's so minor.
Yeah,
It's like,
up here and
yeah, just a tiny little nub under there. We got to move the sector shaft for the steering column over a bit, but realistically, it fits like a glove.
that's crazy.
It is kind of insane.
So this is gonna be we're gonna be continuing along here. We'll you guys got to see this exhaust that's going in here. It's absolutely massive. I'm a little worried about how loud this might be. By word.
I think your neighbors are more worried.
Yeah, the neighbor. Those cold starts in the morning are going to be a little different than the diesel. A little walk around for you guys of what's going on. So look, got the PCM harness here hanging off the side. That's got to get unzip tied. And our PCM is going to be up in the front driver's side of this. We've got oil return lines and oil cooling lines for the transmission down here that are going to have to get connected up to those fittings. I'll show you guys the fittings that come with this. Everything looks really, really nice, but all the connectors and cooling lines and oil lines all have to get made. Oh, there we go. You got the transmission cooler lines. Look at that. Nice.
You got to go to here.
They got to connect up on the
Go
side.
over and down.
And so we've got a cooler in the rad. Part of the rad has a cooler with it.
Yes. There's a cooler just for the transmission up there.
There's the Rubicon transfer case. Now made it up to our billet. America's Most Wanted 4x4 adapter. Our 8-speed Trackhawk transmission. 840 horsepower V8 supercharged monster in the front. New fuel pump installed to feed it. So just everything that got disconnected from the 3.6 liter has to be reconnected and routed and adapted depending on what it is. But look at this, here's our exhaust. 3.5 inch tubing exhaust. It's not a big muffler, guys. It's gonna make some noise. And we've got our heat wrap for our exhaust in there and our intake. More heat wrap for the exhaust. We've actually got an external cooler that's gonna mount where the spare tire is just to cool the supercharger. There's cooling going on here. A lot of things that this is the tedious part. So we have to wrap the entire exhaust system, right, with heat.
The entire exhaust.
It's a heat wrap to protect a lot of the stuff that's really close to this huge 3.5 inch exhaust. It's obviously going to be coming off both sides of the motor, both the passenger and driver's side, and Mike is just clearancing the gas tank here because we have to remove part of the metal so that our huge 3.5 inch exhaust can fit in between our transfer case and the fuel tank, and there's not a lot of room, and part of this metal has to go. And then to help curb some of the heat transfer, we've got a heat wrap that goes along the entire length of this exhaust system.
And then we're gonna tuck the cat to bed with a nice heat blanket.
Right,
Yeah, the cat gets really hot, and it might, you don't want to burn a hole through and screw up your nice sneakers or.
Yeah, that's the least of my concerns.
The sneakers?
Just.
This is a blanket. Titanium pipe shield blanket.
Told you I wanted titanium.
Well, we got your titanium on the outside, stainless on the inside. Oh, the only one I'd be flashy on the outside. Stainless won't rust on the inside.
So we got the blanket to go over the cat because the cat is gonna be.
The cat always
hot.
gets cold, so we want to keep it warm.
Right.
Like nice and cozy.
Just like Nugs out there.
There's only like, what, 46 pipes? No biggie.
Only a few more to go. I don't understand why we need all this anyways.
All this exhaust?
Open headers.
The more exhaust you have, the cooler you are.
That to the Ginger's playbook of coolness. What do we got there? Oh, that's our...
This is the transmission cooler lines. The new ones. They're using AN fittings. So like, this fitting's gonna screw into the housing as well as screw into the oil cooler housing that we transfer on the rad. So we'll remove the quick connects that come from factory and we'll be using these. So this fitting will go in, and then this will tighten on, and whichever angle you need it to be. I don't know which one's which. I think this is gonna end up on the transmission because they're both 90 degrees, and I think this 90/40 ends up on the rad.
So give me a rundown. What? Because you just chopped up the you just chopped up this shifter linkage. Man, I can't. Give me the rundown.
Did you start drinking already today? Like, holy cow.
Give me the rundown on how you modified the shifter linkage, and say shifter linkage 10 times fast.
No. So we took the old shifter linkage, we cut off some pieces that's just going to be in the way, and then we machined down all the bolt spots so that they completely mount now to a nice flat plate instead of the old transmission. So we're able to use the old shifter linkage bracket that is for the transfer case. So it's still hanging up there, so it's just going to plug right in when we're done. Then we transferred over the other shifter linkage bracket for the transmission to this new bracket, so it will be right in line moving that when we get that all said and done. So it's all factory parts.
Very nice. Oh, it looks really good down here. Look at this. Well, one side of the exhaust coming off the header. Is it header or manifold? Like
these are a manifold.
Manifold.
These are a manifold.
Yeah, they're not fancy enough for headers. So we got one side.
They also won't have header problems like all the headers do.
Yeah. So there's a bend in the exhaust here to help fit through this really tight spot where we clearanced the skid plate on the fuel tank. Tight that fit is. Holy moly. The ginger
perfectly fits.
The ginger's just bolting on the other side to the driver's side manifold. Now I know why we need all the heat shielding. Look how close that is to the transfer case there.
It's tight.
The 3.5 inch stainless steel exhaust. Mike, what is that thing for?
Well, this is our pump for our tank that we're putting in the back of the truck.
Just to cool the supercharger.
Just to cool the supercharger down.
So we've got the reserve tank going underneath where the spare tire. Oh, we got all this crap in the way here. So we've got this extra reservoir tank that is going to move coolant from the supercharger back to the tank with this pump.
Yep.
Where the spare tire was.
Yeah, at the very back of the truck.
To help cool this down. So let's check out where this goes. So Mike is removing a high volume of metal from underneath the bed. This is where the spare tire would have mounted up to and connected, and making room for our reservoir. We don't need spare tires where we're going, right, Mike?
Oh, yeah, that's right to Costco. They sell tires.
Right. So that's the reservoir going underneath the spare tire back here.
So we'll rewrite those pieces
that will increase the coolant capacity for the supercharger cooling system.
That will fit just nice. Excellent. Okay, let's get it back down and get all the fittings in it.
Now Mike's got the reservoir out. Got to add all the fittings to it. We've got a threaded fitting here on the one side, a couple fittings on the bottom. Get those put in and then bolt this thing in, strap it down, take it for a ride. Because there's some challenges keeping the supercharger cool under the hood.
But I know some of them go up front to the supercharger. It's gonna stay there because you see how tight it is.
Yeah.
Like you don't want it'll kink if we bend it.
Okay.
So this is the
let me get that end round.
This is the line that goes all the way to the back to the reservoir that Mike just installed underneath the bed of the truck that houses the additional coolant for our supercharger to keep it at the right operating temperature when we're out off-roading and driving. So we've got to run a huge, what is this, like a 1-inch line?
Pretty much.
Yeah, all the way to the back and through that high flow pump that's mounted to the frame rail back there. We got some overnight parts, not from Japan.
Oh, not from Japan? We don't know that.
We needed a couple extra items from AMW. What do we got, Ginger?
Ooh, 2 intercoolers. I imagine I'm only using one of them.
We need all the intercoolers.
We need all the intercoolers?
Those are water-to-water intercooler, right?
Yes.
For our supercharger?
Yes.
Only one of these is ours, but as I told you guys before, there's a second Demon build in the hopper that you can check out at White Rock Dodge. Not before this one, after ours.
And that may even be for sale, too.
Yeah, maybe for sale, so come check it out while you can. Yeah, everything's got a price.
If you show up with enough money, I'll sell you cases. Okay, so that's the part for the oil filter housing.
Yes, so we have on the oil filter, we're actually putting, what do they call it? Not a is it a bypass? No, what do we call this?
It's gonna be a cooler adapter.
An adapter, that's what the word I wanted. So we've got an adapter that goes on the oil filter fitting that is gonna allow us to draw hot oil out of the engine and through a cooler and then back in. This is actually something that I saw some people working on for the EcoDiesel. It heavily voids your warranty, but for this project, we don't really care. So we're gonna have the oil filter adapter on there, drawing hot oil out and putting cooler oil back in. And that's part of what's in the kit, which I believe is this doodad right here, right? Yes, like that. So that goes in between your oil filter and draws hot oil out, gives you cold oil back.
This just arrived. It looks like a really nice done heat shield to protect the gas tank from sudden flames. Yes, so we're gonna take out the exhaust again and try and fit this in, rivet it down, and then we're gonna have this nice protection
But look at
for the gas tank.
Yeah, because
This is what originally went, how it was done.
yeah, this was AMW's first iteration for the Demon build. Heat shielding, heat blanket, more heat shielding, but still the gas tank is plastic. So now we've got this thick, what is it, like?
It's like
aluminum?
1/8
aluminum
or
shield,
whatever, aluminum. So,
which is gonna slot right in between
yeah.
here and give us much better heat protection, because we did have to, you guys remember earlier in the video, I did trim out some of this heat shielding on the fuel tank.
Which it looks like we're probably gonna have to trim out more, but it's gonna be in a place that's easy to cut.
Just so you know, the Demon engine kit is evolving. AMW is continually making updates, which is why in some of the video, not everything makes sense that we're looking at. The Ginger went down to AMW for a whole week of training on these installations, and this kit is different than what he saw doing the original Demon installation at AMW. So things are getting updated, changed, and improved, which is great. Fortunately, to get the new heat shield in that we didn't know about that just arrived in the boxes, we have to backtrack a little bit on the exhaust and some of the plumbing.
You got it?
No, it's gotta come to me. There it goes.
Look at that, ladies and gentlemen. Intercooler.
Cool.
I'll set this over here for now. Okay. The intercooler is gonna kind of fit in here.
Between the AC, that's the AC condenser, radiator, and then we get an extra radiator.
2 radiators. Gotta disassemble this radiator. This is eventually going to bolt to here. We're gonna be about there somewhere. Our rubber pieces are gonna go here. They're isolators, so they hook onto the car. Transmission one. It's gonna go like this.
Radiator, intercooler, transcooler, AC condenser. I forget what the other cooler is.
A lot of coolers.
Look at this thing, guys. Like, holy moly. What a stack. All right, a ton of progress on the Demonator. Most of the prep work for getting the body back on has been completed. We've got the pump.
Sure looks like we're building a DeLorean.
It looks like a time machine, but with all the hoses and tubing. But we've got our rear cooling pump for the supercharger installed, the exhaust mocked up. A lot of the engine plumbing is done, and some of the wiring has to wait until the body gets dropped on. So that's going to be our next phase coming up in the next video, as well as a first start. If you want to build your own Demon Hellcat 392, 426, or just a brand new Jeep, go check out White Rock Dodge, and then make sure you stop by at Epic Adventure Outfitters to take care of all your mods. I think we should wrap this video up here. In the next one, we're gonna drop the body on, finish up the engine bay installation, and first startup. I'm super excited, and I can imagine you guys can't wait to see the first start. So hit the subscribe button, leave a like. If you have any questions or comments, leave them down below. I'll do my best to answer them. I'll see you guys in the next video.